In this video, I'm going to be going over 50 new features in the Arc Aberration Ascended DLC brand new update. First, I'm going to be going over all of the free changes that come with Aberration just in the game, and then I'm going to be going over all of the new DLC features, and I'll make sure to mention when that switch happens. But anyway, let's get into it. First off, we have the Heing. This is a brand new creature exclusive to Aberration, and it kind of glides around. It's like a mini rock drake. It's not nearly as good as one, and I don't think it's nearly as overpowered as people were suspecting. It kind of like skips around when it runs, and then you can glide off stuff. The gliding is pretty simple, and it has a dash where you can dash forwards up, and then you have to recharge it. Number 2 is a big one, as they added things called genes. Basically, every creature has one unique trait or a gene, and this will give it different effects. So for example, this trike has the vampiric trait, which means that this creature recovers health equal to percentage of damage it deals, and all creatures have these. Some of them can be negative and some of them can be positive, and you can add traits to ones when they're babies, which is why this one has 2, and I'll explain how to do that later in this video. But that is a brand new feature and is going to change the game quite a bit. The third new feature is they've added wooden cliff platforms. Before, all they had were stone and metal ones, which were pretty good, but now you can build wooden cliff platforms, which is just a nice little change. As well as number 4 is cliffs can now snap to each other, which another thing is kind of expected with Ascended is the building's a lot better. So now you can snap them together, making building with them a lot easier and making huge cliffs things a lot easier to make. And in number 5, cliff platforms can be in different sizes, and you don't have to build them separately. It's not like you have to build each size. If you all you have to do is build, like, say for the stone one, you just have to build a stone platform, and you'll have access to all 3 sizes. You kind of just scroll through which one you want, and the sizes are pretty large. And number 6 is you can place the tech sleeping pod vertically now. Just a nice little change, kind of similar to the coffins they had a few months ago, and it's a little bit glitched right now, but maybe they'll fix it. And number 7 is we have the Aberrant Filas Suus. I was not expecting this, as they said the Filas Suus would be exclusive to Scorched Earth, but I guess they went back on that. I'm not complaining, as this Aberrant variant looks awesome. And number 8 is Carinos Breeding is now a thing. You can breed Carcinoses together. You couldn't in Aberration on ASE, but now you can, which is pretty cool. Same thing for Basilisks at number 9. You can now breed Basilisks together, and you can get little Basilisk babies, and they lay eggs. And number 10 is there's the Aberrant Gigaraptor, or the Gigaraptor. Still not sure how to pronounce this one, but it looks really cool. I like the Aberrant variant for this one as well. And the last new Aberrant variant at number 11 is the Aberrant Oviraptor. I'm sure a lot of people are going to like this change at number 12. It is the charge nodes now actually work as obelisks, so you can move creatures and inventories. You can't go to boss fights, but you can move your inventory and creatures across maps and upload them, which is a super useful change. And number 13 is the gas collector. Has been kind of redesigned just a little bit, and it's been made look a lot better, as you can see right here. There's a lot more pipes and stuff on the edge, as well as there's like some crystals coming out of it as well. I think this one looks a lot cooler. Number 14 is the Pyroman spawns on Aberration. Was not expecting this, not sure why it spawns in here, as it doesn't really fit in, but it's here. And number 15 is the Aberrant Megalania spawn on here. I'm super happy about this one. These were in Ark Survival Evolved, but they didn't spawn on Aberration. They were in the game, and then eventually they came to Fjordur, but we never got them on Aberration. But now they spawn on Aberration, and you could find them, and I'm guessing you could tame them too. This one is a great change. The Aberrant Raptors can no longer pounce on you. I think everyone is extremely happy about this one, as when I was streaming, I think people were mentioning it. They hoped that they removed this, because before on Aberration, for some reason, the Aberrant Raptors could pounce on you, and on no other map they could. So it's so glad they removed that. Number 17 is the babies. There's a bunch of new creatures that didn't have babies that now have them before. Like, of course, the Bulb Dog. There's also the Ravager as well. I believe like the Roll Rat and stuff have babies. A lot of the babies, there's a lot of creatures on Aberration that now have babies that didn't before, which is super cool. And number 18 is they added stone tree platforms. I couldn't place this one on Aberration, so I had to do it on the island, but it was part of the Aberration patch notes. It's cool we have this, because before all we had was the wood and the metal tree platforms for the longest time ever, so it's cool we finally got the stone variant. And number 19 is a change to the Reapers. Now when you tame Reapers, it's going to be based on what level your character is, which is interesting and definitely makes it to where you need to get max level before you tame one of these. And number 20 is there's new icons for all of these items you can see on screen. I noticed these ones immediately. If you are a hardcore Arc player, you'll probably notice them quite quickly too. And number 21 is you can hide structure skins now. There's a setting where you can hide enemy structure cosmetics. It won't change yours, but it'll change the enemies, so that way they won't have to, or you won't have to see their skins, and so they can't hide stuff like tech structures and all that, which I imagine is pretty useful for PvP. Number 22 is the cinematic lighting mode. They've added a new cinematic lighting mode to PC only. It's not on PS5 and Xbox because they can't handle it. But yeah, this was the before on my PC, and this is the after. If you're like me, you're probably thinking what changed, and that's what I'm thinking. This doesn't really seem any different. They mentioned it on the patch notes as if it was some big change, and it's going to take a lot of hardware to run this, and it literally doesn't look any different. Maybe it's something I'm not noticing. Maybe someone else can notice what the difference is or tell me what the difference is, but I'm not really sure what that is. And another change we have is apparently there's an 80% performance boost due to some changes they've made. Now, you'll have to tell me if you think this is accurate or not, or if you're actually experiencing it, as the update just came out, so it's kind of hard to tell if there's actually been a huge, boost in the actual experience of the game and how it runs and stuff like that. Hopefully it does run better for people and more people can play it. Number 24 is a big visual change, as in the red underground biome, you'll notice that there's these huge purple cracks going through all of the what were just before like black rocks, and now they're super bright, and I'm not sure how I feel about this one, but I thought I'd point it out. And number 25 is the Aberrant Gilly Suit. This is the regular one I have on screen, and this is what it looks like now with the Aberrant variant. It's just the skin, you get it for free, and you could put it only on Gilly. And it looks quite nice. It basically matches the bioluminescent biome. And now we're moving on to the Bob's Tall Tales DLC. So you have to have this DLC to have any of these new features going on. And if you already have it for Scorched Earth, you'll have it for this too, as that includes all of them. And number 26 is a very simple but very great change. The skins that were in the Ingrams for the Bob's Tall Tale DLC have been removed, so they're not cluttering up the first Ingrams. That was really annoying, but now they're gone, and you'll still have the skins. You'll just be able to craft them without having to learn them. And number 27 is the Dapper Skin Set. It's kind of like a old Victorian style suit, I think that's the right terminology. You can also, there's 3 different hat sizes as well. And number 28 is the Engineer Skin Set. This one's probably my favorite. The gloves are really cool. The leggings, I don't know, it's just a really cool looking skin set, except for the hat. Maybe I would switch that one out. But at number 29 is there's a bunch of different hat skins as well. We have this Barat Hat, I think is how you'd say it, and then there's the Boater Hat skin as well. This one looks interesting. I don't know if I'd use this one. And then there's the Steampunk goggles. I actually use these ones to match. I'd probably use these with that like engineer one. And then there's the Steampunk hat and goggles. So you have the goggles with the little hat skin too, which is a nice detail. Number 30 is the Rock Drake saddle skin. So this one doesn't have it on right now, so you can see it before and after. So this is it. And then this is it with the like steampunk suit. It looks pretty cool. It's got some goggles on as well. It's just a nice touch. And then the back has a little fin coming off of it. There's just a lot of nice details in this one. Number 31 is the Steampunk structure skins. You can put these on pretty much any structure you want, and they look pretty cool. I definitely like them. And I definitely like the gateway too. The gateway looks really cool. This is what it looks like from the outside. Kind of looks like it's mixed in with stone, and then you have some steampunk vibes as well. There's also, you can put these on the chairs, the benches, and the table, so you can kind of get some interior furniture with that as well. Number 32 is the Time Traveler stopwatch. Basically, all you have to do is you can like set a teleport location, and then whenever you're in a pinch, you can just teleport to that location. There's a pretty big cooldown on it. You have to wait for the stopwatch to actually reset, but it seems very useful for getting out of some sticky situations. And number 33 is the clock. At first, I thought this was kind of just a decoration item, but it actually has a use, and it speeds up the time that which things take around in your base. So it has like a radius, and it will speed things up. So that's really cool. And number 34 is the Industrial Preserving Bin. Basically just a better version of the preserving bin that runs on gasoline or generator fuel. You can use it to make jerky and keep things preserved. And number 35 is the Steam Forge, or the Tech Forge. This is basically the official Tech Forge in the game. It's going to be even better than the Industrial Forge, and it runs on Element. Despite looking like a steampunk thing, it does run on Element, but you can learn it. I think you learned it at like level 100, or maybe it's like 97 or something like that. But it makes metal, it makes it like 40 at a time, so it's pretty quick. Number 36 is the Steampunk Lights. It's just like the omnidirectional light, except for it's got a kind of a steampunk vibe to it, so it looks pretty cool. But after that, at number 37 is the Tesla Coil. This thing basically shocks enemies around. It requires electricity from a generator, but it can shock things. It has like a purple sting mode, and then it has like one that shoots like a little white looking beam that seems to just stun them in place. When I saw this, I immediately thought of the Hidden Tesla from Clash of Clans. It's basically the same thing, minus the ability to be hidden. And at number 38 is the Linked Storage. This is basically an ender chest from Minecraft, and if you haven't played Minecraft or don't know what an ender chest is, basically it's like a storage bin. You place it down, and if you have another one of the same storages anywhere on the map, you can open it up, and it has the same exact thing you put in there, so you can access it from any point on the map. Now there's a few things with this that's different from the ender chest in Minecraft, and one is when you place it down, it has a 5-minute cooldown, and it also requires electricity. And number 39 is the Tinkering Bench. This one's a really cool one, and one that I wasn't really expecting, but it's got some pretty cool abilities. Basically, how it works is you could combine blueprints. So you could put up to 3 blueprints in there, and then you kind of open it up. And there's 2 different options for combining them. There's the unstable one and then the stable one. Basically, they both have chances of completely destroying your items. The unstable one does it way more commonly, but the unstable one has a chance of giving you better, durability. So it's kind of like gambling in a way, which I don't know if that's the best to add to a game, but whatever. And number 40 is the Goo Gun. This is another one I was not expecting at all, but it basically shoots out goo. It has a purple one that shoots out this goo that basically like sticks you and makes you slow down, and then it has a yellow one which actually allows you to bounce on it, so you can use it as a traversal item. And how you fill it up with ammo is you have to go up to dead carcasses and press L1. I don't know what it is on any other console, but L1, and then that will basically fill it up with its ammo. Number 41 is the Robot. This thing is going to be pretty useful. I haven't figured out entirely yet, but it basically follows you around and does tasks for you. You can set it to Butler mode, or you can set it to Repair Structures mode. Number 42 is the Genon Gun. This thing allows you to see what genes creatures have, and it allows you to take genes out of them and put them into newborn babies, so that way you can basically combine them. You can have up to 5 genes on a baby, and then you can make your super dino. And number 43 is the Gene Storage. This one is very useful, as you take the genes you get from the Genon Gun and you can put them in here. It has up to 200 slots, and you can save the best genes you find from all your tamed creatures if you want to use them to eventually put into babies to do for other things. And number 44 is the Embryo Incubator. This one is going to be pretty useful, especially for those people that like to breed, because basically how it works is you can take the embryos out of mammals, so you can store up their embryos and then hatch them with the egg incubator. So once you get the embryo, you put it in the embryo thing, and then once it's done, you can hatch it. So that means we finally have a way of storing up a bunch of eggs, or I guess embryos, for mammals, which normally you can't do. You have to do it one at a time, which really sucks. So now you can actually do huge batches of creatures. And number 45 is the Zeppelin. This is kind of a crazy one. I feel like I've said this a lot, but I didn't expect this one. I mean, I guess we knew that it was coming, but we didn't know how it was going to work. But it basically, you can fly around with it. It is really slow though, like insanely slow. Like if you compare it to a rock drake, it's going to take you an hour to get pretty much anywhere you want to. But you can build on the back of it, and it has a fuel. It runs on gasoline. And it doesn't glide or anything, you just fly around with it. And number 46 is the Library Storage. This one is a simple one, but it's really cool. Basically, it stores blueprints, and you can connect it to any crafting station or anything you want. And once you do that, you'll be able to access the blueprints from that library in that thing without having to actually move them back and forth. And number 47 is the Spotlight. This one is a nice little one. You can use it to light up areas. You can also put stuff on there. You can draw things on there. The thing is, if you draw text on there, it's going to come up backwards, but it's still cool that you can put it on there. Number 48 is there's brand new emotes. There's 2 new ones. There's the tea time one, and then there's the hat tip, where you kind of just tip your hat forwards. These ones are, of course, only for the DLC owners. And number 49 is there's new animated cutscenes. These ones are the ones that are intro into the game, and then I believe there's another one once you defeat Rockwell. And number 50 is Cosmo, the brand new creature for Bob's Tall Tale DLC owners. It's like a little spider. It's a tiny little shoulder pet, but you can wrap it around your arm, and you could swing around with it like Spider-Man. It's got some other abilities too, but the main one is the swinging one, and it's pretty fun to mess around with. But that is going to be it for this video. That's 50 new features in Aberration Ascended. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye.